Okay.
Hey, Will. Yeah, go for Will. Do you want to just double check the mic placement on?
And I am liking having the pillow.
Yeah. Yeah, that pillow like helps. Like mine just fell off.
Oh,
And I was like, wait.
I need that back.
Yeah.
Give me that back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Okay, thank you.
Dana, I might see your left shoulder, so just favor your right. Thank you. Camera A is rolling. Your shirt's just a little dusty.
Please up. I'm gonna wait for the plate.
Where at?
Sounds good.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Plate's coming in.
We have 25 minutes for the interview.
Okay.
Cool.
You good?
Good here.
Good. A-cam, Mark.
Please. B-speed.
And B-cam, Mark.
Shania, how you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
That's good. That's good to hear. First of all, I have to say your jacket, the red.
Oh, yeah?
I love it. The whole ensemble. You
I'm
look
popping.
great. You are definitely popping. Popping.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I just want to slide your chips just a hair to your right.
Okay.
Just because I was catching your shoulder a little bit.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you. Sorry about that.
No, no problem. We're good to go.
We might just grab this very intro again, just because.
Yeah, I was still getting settled. Sorry about that.
Hey,
Sorry
we're
about
good.
that.
Cool.
We're back.
Okay, cool. No, again, just want to say the whole ensemble, it is definitely popping. The red, I mean, the pants, I love it all. You look great.
Thank you.
It's good, great. Look great. Look great. Want to talk to you about your album, Queen of Me. What is the meaning behind the title, and what does it mean to you personally?
Well, I wrote this album during COVID, and there was so much, doubt, sort of insecurity. Where are we going? Is anybody around me going to get, really sick? Just a lot of concern, a lot of weight, a lot of stress. And music, especially songwriting, is my go-to therapy. This is my escapism. This is my, the world has to go away right now because I'm writing. And the reason it's my escape is because I can create whatever reality I want in that mode. And for me, during this particular period, it was my mood changer. So it's like, okay, I want to write something that is going to make me want to dance and feel positive, self-empowered. I'm in charge of what's what's happening here. Even, it's like one of those things where you've got to create your own world for a minute to escape. And what I realized in all of that was a lot of that is about self-empowerment is about managing your mindset, controlling your own mood, your frame of mind. So it just turned into this, Queen of Me. This is I'm my own boss. I'm the boss of me. I am. I have to tell myself how to think, what to think, and it became really the theme of the whole album. The whole album ended up representing that that uplifting mode in myself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, one thing that, I noticed from your new album, I listened to it, it sounds great, by the way.
Thank you.
I thought initially it was going to be a lot of, some ballads, but it's more of a upbeat type of vibe. What made you want to go that route? It sounds great, by the way. But
Thank you.
What made you to go down that direction?
Well, again, I wanted the album to, it was all happening in a mode of lifting my own spirit up. I wanted music that was going to make me want to dance. And even some of the songs that are a little more, for example, Brand New Me or Pretty Liar, those are songs that would have ended up being initially, or maybe have stayed more in the melancholy vibe, more maybe ballady, but because I was really relying on my songwriting during that time to make me feel a positive energy, everything pretty much turned into this more poppy, dancey, beat-driven, upbeat-driven sounding album. So there's most of it is that.
Yeah. You talking about how you just kind of just jumped into your writing during the pandemic. how often or how much did you write? Like just during a normal day, how much did you really just delve into the writing phase of your songwriting?
You know what? It's like a confession, but every excuse I get to be alone with my guitar and a microphone and just write, I take it. It's kind of selfish time but because it's my work, it's just like, it's the best thing. My writing cave, like people have man cave, woman cave, I just need a writing cave. And that can be anywhere. It's portable and anywhere that I can get alone. So with all of the isolation in the pandemic, at the most there were 3-4 of us in the house at any one time. It was easy to get that space and quiet without really coming up with an excuse that I just wanted to be alone for a little while. So I got productive right at the very, very beginning. I was alone with my guitar every day. I've written 3 albums worth during the pandemic. Very productive time.
Wow, you were definitely inspired.
Oh yeah, I was inspired by just having less distraction. Okay, less places to go, less commitments, less outside world distraction, and then also just to keep myself creatively active. I need that. I'm just like, that's my drug. My drug is creative work.
Yeah. Now, I look at your album cover. When you look at it and you see yourself, on a horse, and I know at least for me, it just seems very freeing and just kind of liberating in a way. But I guess when you look at the cover, how do you feel about it?
That was the entire intention, throw away the bra. I did a lot of nude photography in that session. That's obviously a partial nude, and I wanted to be on a horse. I wanted to be very, one of the places I feel the most liberated is riding a horse. I mean, you can fly, it's very empowering, and it's an unbridled, it's sort of like you take this unbridled, posture to bridle your freedom. It's such a, it's so real for me to do that. In order to take control, you have to face, in this case, especially with the nudity and everything, it was like facing a fear, facing something that's uncomfortable, getting myself out of my comfort zone, especially on a horse. Awesome, that's freedom.
Yeah. What was a turning point for you to decide just to have that freedom? Because I remember I even saw in your documentary that, at one point when you were younger, you didn't necessarily feel that way.
Yeah.
But where did you find that? When did you become very empowered to say, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm comfortable doing this? What was the turning point for you in regards to just having that type of freedom and confidence?
I was very self-conscious about my body as I was growing into being an adolescent. And I would never go to the beach in a bathing suit. I would not change in front of the other girls, during gym and all of that sort of stuff. I was very, very, very self-conscious. And I developed really, really, really fast from a little girl to all of a sudden being a woman. It was just like, whoa, I couldn't adjust fast enough. So I retreated and I dressed like a boy, meaning, I flattened my breasts, wore double, shirts, oversized things, nothing flattering my body for a long, long time. So, and, it would go in spurts and waves, I was just very insecure. And then when I made my first video, What Made You Say That? And all of a sudden, there was this space, this new platform where I could work with the aesthetics of the body and how clothing draped on it and fashion, it was as if I was stepping out of myself into this safe zone of experimenting and enjoying my body and being a woman, you know, which led to the song, Man, I Feel Like a Woman. That was really my first statement of going, wow, I'm really liking this, you know, space that's not, this platform that's not a personal platform, where I can step out of myself and experiment and enjoy and get to know the joy of being a woman. So it was through that I discovered that there was a confidence under there. It just needed to be, you know, discovered and embraced. So many years later now, 57 years old, I'm saying, all right, I don't even need clothes. I need to really face the root of this issue. And this is this self-conscious, you know, this barrier that's stops me from even looking in the mirror at myself naked. You know, turn the lights down in front of my husband and stuff like that. I'm thinking that this isn't right. This is not normal. This is not healthy. And yet I'm singing about a healthy woman. I'm singing about a woman with confidence, which I am, but I'd never gone through that one barrier of being comfortable in my own skin, really. And so I'm like, I'm crashing through that barrier, and I'm going to, you know, I'm going to do a nude photo session, and that really was for me. And it really did liberate me. I have a different mindset on all of that now, and even just for physical health, you have to look at yourself closely. You know, you've got to accept, okay, listen, I got to look through the lumps and the bumps and all the wrinkles and the sags in order to make sure that I'm okay in every way, you know? So it's like, okay, open your eyes, look at yourself, and love yourself.
Absolutely. No, that's great. I think that's, you know, what you just said is very inspiring. And I know that, you know, many others would, you know, would definitely will feel empowered by that as well.
I mean, it's not about exhibitionism.
Yeah.
I'm not an exhibitionist. I enjoy the liberty of saying, okay, I'm going to take that fear head on, and what is it going to take for me to start breaking that down? And, you know, so I'm like, okay, head first. Yeah, just go for it. There's no way to ease into this. I'm already 57, frig. I'm only going to get, you know, more saggy, more wrinkled, more lumpy. So what am I waiting for?
Yeah. Do you feel yourself being more conscious of your body? You know, like you say, you look and everything, but how do you continue to maintain, I guess, in you know, just being more self-conscious, but also being free of everything as well, and just being confident at the same time.
Well, imagine, I couldn't be free and confident at 12. So it's like, okay, how am I going to turn this ship around? You know, you know, from the age of 12 years old to 57, I've been self-conscious. And the joy of using clothing as an element of art and visual art and direction, it also covers you up. Mm-hmm. So there's beauty and fashion in the naked body too. Of course, it's so, and I think that the most beautiful thing you can do is appreciate yourself and your own body. So as I get older, you know, I was thinking, all right, I gotta put the brakes on the self-conscious, and I gotta put the gas on the freedom. And so that's where I am going forward. I am, that is over. I'm not worrying about it anymore. It was just like a light bulb went on. you know, what am I waiting for? I mean, frig, if I can't. It was just weird. I was weirdly self-conscious. Or not, I don't know if weird's the right word, but I think I was uncomfortable with how self-conscious I was. And I talk about being comfortable in my own skin, and I gotta act it out.
Mm-hmm. How much has your husband helped you along the way with, you know, encouraging you? I'm not even saying it right myself.
Encouraging.
Encouraging. You know, how influential has he been, you know, along the way, you know, with him, you know, being your partner and you know, the both of you leaning on each other along the way?
My husband is really great about making me feel good. He's always complimenting me. I think if you have a mental block, though, about something that you're feeling embarrassed about or self-conscious about, it's so difficult. You need others around you to be supportive of reminding you that you're beautiful the way you are. But also, sometimes I think the biggest support is also saying it's okay to be, if you feel self-conscious, then just, you've got to do whatever makes you comfortable. Otherwise you start feeling weird about the fact that you're self-conscious about it. And I think the best thing that he's done for me is support me in taking the plunge. I'm like, well, how are you going to feel if I'm naked in front of the crew and stuff like that? And he's like, you got to do it. You got to do whatever it is that makes you, helps you face this, that makes you want to hide what is really the most beautiful about you, which is just the you. And so ironically, fashion helped me, which it should anyway. I think it's not a bad thing because, you know, fashion can make you enhance the things you like about yourself and camouflage the things you don't like about yourself. You can make yourself taller with fashion. You can make yourself shape differently with fashion. You can bring out your eye color with fashion. You can do all kinds of things with fashion. But it's supposed to be fun and creative, not somewhere to hide. And this is what I want to embrace myself as well.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk to you about, I know, of course, you had throat surgery several years ago. I mean, I know at one point, I know you feared that you would not be able to sing again or have your career. I know, what was it, when at one point, when did that fear start to dissolve and you felt like, you know, you can continue to sing the way that you did before? But also remember that you said your voice kind of changed a little bit as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But what was a turning point for you where you felt like that you didn't have as much fear as you did before when it came to you singing again?
Well, losing my voice was a journey that I would describe more like a roller coaster. So I would say for probably 4 years, after seeing many specialists, I gave up on it, and I just figured, well, I didn't give up on it. I just gave up on the fact that there was a way to fix it. And so I was now getting in the mode of, okay, well, now what am I, you know, the specialists are telling me there's nothing they can do, so now I'm going to work on my psyche and in accepting that and not let it get me down. That was the first positive thing. That's why I'm saying that was, so that was like, okay, for a sign of hope, I'm going to live without singing. I'm going to focus so much on songwriting that I'm going to be the best songwriter I've ever been, you know, things like that. But I still kept trying to find my voice again. I still kept trying as I would discover maybe another type of specialist and whatnot. So it was a bit of a roller coaster ride. It was a bit some hope, and then no, it's never going to happen. Hope, never going to happen. I was getting stronger the whole time mentally through it, and doing a lot of songwriting. Finally, 7 years later, because I didn't give up searching for the right specialist, I finally found the one that would be able to change it. And that meant open throat surgery. The trick in the open throat surgery is not to touch the vocal cords, because the vocal cords were not my problem. It was a Lyme's disease neurological effect, damage to the nerves to my vocal cords. So the surgeon's goal was to support the larynx without touching the vocal cords. And I have 2 Gore-Tex crutches in my larynx on either side of my voice box, my larynx. And I had to be awake for the surgery so that I could phonate, so that I could sing and speak. It was horrible, I'm not gonna lie. But there was no way around it. It was the only way. So the decision to do the surgery was quick for me, but the recovery was quite long and very, very painful. Because they literally have to stretch your whole larynx, move everything over, and put these crutches in there, they're Gore-Tex. And then you sing, you speak, so they understand that you have symmetrical closure, and I didn't have that before, which is why I couldn't control my voice.
Wow. You often have to sing during the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because they have to be able to see, because these Gore-Tex, the placement of it is very, very, it has to be exact.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do it again. And this is part of also the joy of, I may not have it forever, because this is all about the physiology. It could move. It could, just with age, the effect of it just might not stand up. And, so I got to take advantage of it now and enjoy it and, get out on the stage and make more records. Because I'm not sure I would go through it again, is my point.
If you don't mind me asking, if it was, your voice was to fade, I guess, I'm not sure if using the proper term.
Yeah.
Fade again, did they give you a time frame? Would it actually happen? Or I don't know. I'm interested to see, I'm sure you probably think about it daily or thinking about it often. When can it go, or when can this happen again? I guess how big of a concern is that, I guess, moving forward? Like you say, you're taking advantage of this time that you have.
Yes. I don't think about it, and I don't worry about it. I focus on how to manage my voice now the way it is. It'll take me, so for example, before the surgery, if I was able to record a few things in there and do some singing, but it was like a 2-hour warm-up and so much physical therapy. I just couldn't sustain it. That's why I made the decision to have the surgery. Now, the surgery itself has reduced all of that. I can warm up in about 20 minutes before a show, which is very normal. That's ideal. But if I'm not singing for even a week, maybe 2 weeks, it takes me 2 or at least 2-3 days to get that voice going again, so that I can warm up, that I only need the 20 minutes before I go on stage. It's still a lot more work than I ever had to do before, but okay, it's worth it. I'll do it. So I focus on really what it does take to keep me on the stage and to keep me, to give a good performance on the microphone. But I know that, I feel it sometimes where I'm like, it's more of a constant effort now than it ever was before.
Yeah.
So I don't take it for granted. I realize, I figure maybe just as the tissue starts getting more lax as you grow older, so every time I look at my, if I look at my, my leg, how my legs or any other part of my body that is just, you get a little softer as you're getting older and everything, you're losing elasticity. That's the right word. Elasticity starts to go more and more. Well, that applies to your soft tissue. That applies to your laryngeal makeup. The whole structure is all soft tissue pretty much. It's cartilage and ligaments and things like that. So and just the muscles, everything. And so as if once that gets too lax, I would imagine this will not hold up anymore, and I would need another operation, which that's why I'm saying, at that point. Where is that point? I don't know. I'm not, right now I don't really care.
Good. Y'all are. I know, of course, you spoke about you just building up your confidence, you just how you look and so forth. But of course, you had to build up your confidence, with your vocals as well. When was a breakthrough for that? Into, I guess, in building more confidence, like, I can actually do this. When did that happen?
Before the operation is when it happened. I had done a Vegas residency, my first one, and I'd recorded my album Now. Huge effort. I was so exhausted because it just took so much work, but I'd already understood. I had gone through all the physiotherapy, all the speech therapy, everything that I could pre-op. And that was what was recommended by the surgeon that was then eventually going to do the operation. So I was very successful. I was already optimistic that if that could work, even though it wasn't sustainable, then to have a structural support in there, surely I would have more success. So I was already feeling optimistic. I just had to take the dive and try the operation. It was a risk. Maybe I wouldn't even have been able to sing at all after that. I don't know, but I had to do it because I could not sustain the work that I was putting in to get up there and sing and be satisfied and not even hurt myself. I mean, who can sing for 4 hours a day? Like I was doing 2.5 hour warm-ups, then a 90 minute to 2 hour show. I would have definitely destroyed my vocal cords, which was counterproductive because my vocal cords themselves were in great shape. So there just was a point of no turning back, but I was already feeling good that I knew I was committed. I knew that I could, it was all up to the surgeon at this point and my recovery, being able to recover. So yeah, but the true confidence was 3 weeks after the surgery. I made a sound, and there was resonance, instant resonance. I'm like, oh my God. I feel it. I feel it working. And yeah, that was only weeks going into the next residency, my next live shows. It was a small window, but that kind of put the fire under my butt too, and said, all right, no more excuses. You've got this. You've got the best technology available, top-notch surgeon, all the physiotherapy education you need. Get out there and do it.
Yeah. I have just one more question. Is
Jonathan, could you ask about the Queen of Me tour?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you, love.
Yeah, absolutely.
One more.
That's what I was going to ask about about the tour. I guess in preparation for the tour, how are you going into that mentally, with knowing that you're performing on a consistent basis, and you're, I guess, I know you, of course, you were excited, for the tour as well. But you talk about just the preparation for it and getting ready for it, and so forth.
I think one good point to make in all of this, whether it's, I think I've learned to be okay and embracing my vulnerabilities. Fear is a different word. That has no place in this because fear is definitely the enemy. It's very negative. It's very something that we all have to face fear, but the songwriting of this album was all meant to cope with the fear of COVID, keep my mind positive and optimistic. The whole point behind the naked photography was to face that fear of self-criticism. So when I now go out on that stage, I am not afraid of the criticism. I'm not going to be perfect. My voice is not what it used to be. I sing differently. There'll be holes in it. There'll be you know, I'm not the same body I used to be, all these things. But I go out there with the confidence that I'm the best I can be and that I've worked hard to be my best. And I just am not afraid of the criticism. And I'm there for the people that are embracing me for who I am. And I will get out there and do my best to make everybody happy, as I always do. So I guess the confidence that I'm getting out there with is my newest state of mind, my really very current state of mind. And I'm fearless about it. And then we know when it goes, it goes. I'm certainly not fearing it when it goes right now. I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about getting out there and enjoying it.
Oh, thank you.
Enjoying the queen of me. Because you know what? I mean, that frame of mind is the queen of me. Owning your flaws, owning your beauty, whatever, the inner and outer beauty, enjoying all of that and reminding yourself regularly that you're the boss of yourself, and it's up to you to decide whether you're inspired or affected. Inspired or affected. And I'm inspired. I'm an inspired human being. I live for inspiration. So that's what I want to give back. And that is literally what the song says.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. You've definitely been an inspiration to me. I applaud you. No, seriously. Thank you. You've gone through a lot. You endured, and you're still here making it happen.
Yeah, you got to get out there and kick. And you know what? It's your own butt you got to kick.
Yeah. right.
Don't have a choice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.